guys, we're back at the tailgate of the Ram to give you guys some more tailgate talk today. This is going to be sort of a lead-in, or if you will, to a video that I'm going to be doing later. You could call this a trailer backing 101, if you will. We're going to demonstrate all the tips that we give you in this video at a later date. I'm just working out some logistics of getting everybody on the same page as where to be and what time, basically. But first thing I'm going to start you guys out with is a little story about how I learned how to back up a trailer. And the way that I learned was I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and I had just started in HVAC, and I wasn't making a whole lot of money, so I was taking a lot of the copper coils and the motors and stuff like that down to the local scrapyard to make a little bit of extra money to help pay for some things. And at my local scrapyard, you have to pretty much back in everywhere, and I didn't know how to back it in a trailer, and it was a challenge. It's very tight quarters, and there's a lot of things happening all at the same time at the recycling plant. So my dad said, well, go hook up the trailer, and we'll go out in the yard, and I'll show you how to back it up. And he taught me how to back it up in the front yard of our house. If I remember right, we set up a couple of buckets or used a couple of trees or something like that, and that was sort of our parking space, backing in between these two trees, go backing in over here, different approaches and things like that. And I will say this, I have a little 5x8, I think, utility trailer. It's a real small trailer, it's just big enough for the lawnmower. And that trailer is a little bit of a pain to turn to back in because it turns very quickly, and it turns very tightly, and it'll jackknife on you really fast if you're not paying attention. But on my Jeep Grand Cherokee, my Jeep actually turned pretty quickly because it had a very short wheelbase. So they sort of complemented each other in the fact that the Jeep turned fast and the trailer turned fast. My Ram 1500, it turned a little bit slower because of a little bit longer of a wheelbase, which made it a little more challenging. But once I sort of got used to it, I kind of liked it because it allowed me to turn the trailer a little slower. My Ram 2500 with the long wheelbase and the full front axle on the front of it with the four-wheel drive, it is a pain to back that trailer in even now. And I kind of like to sort of pride myself on that little utility trailer. I'm a little bit of a pro at backing that in at this point. But with the 2500, it can be challenging because of how much faster the trailer turns than the vehicle itself. The Sonic and the 2500 actually complement themselves pretty well because the Sonic is much longer. It has a dual axle setup, so it turns a little bit slower, and they really complement themselves quite nicely. But moving on from there, a couple of things you want to keep in mind when you're backing in a trailer is the trailer is going to turn the opposite way of your vehicle because the trailer ball is a pivot point. So as you turn the vehicle to the left, your trailer is going to turn right. The back of your trailer is going to turn right. So that's something you got to keep in mind. An easy way to sort of do this when you're first learning is to place both your hands at the bottom of the steering wheel, and if you want to turn left, you push your left hand up and the trailer will turn left. When you want to turn right, you push your right hand up and the trailer will turn right. It's sort of a little trick to kind of help you until you get to know what you're doing. Another thing, just go slow, guys. It's a marathon, it's not a race. Nobody at the campsite is looking at you and judging you and about how you back in or anything like that, and if they are, screw them. Who cares? You get the thing back then, you get it set up. What's the difference? The guy gonna come over to you later with a six-pack and tell you how to back your trailer in? I mean, I'm just gonna tell him to get lost. I mean, I don't care how long it took me to get back then. I got back then. That's the important thing. Good mirrors and making sure your mirrors are set up are really essential. If you can't see what's going on behind you, you've already lost the battle. One thing that I will say when my dad was teaching me how to back the trailer in is he taught me to use the mirrors. I don't look over my shoulder and see what the trailer's doing back there or anything like that. And that's really, really helpful with a trailer like this because if I turn my head and look over my shoulder, the only thing I'm going to see is that nice Sonic logo right over the top of my head right now. That's not going to help me because I can't see what's going on. I need to know where I am relative to where I'm trying to park. So it's really just practice, 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 guys. Take it out to a an empty parking lot. Walmart's got really nice large parking lots, and use the parking spots that are already there. Just set in your mind, say, okay, I'm gonna park straight in that parking space right there, and go out there and get it done. One thing I will say, I like to use a spotter when backing the Sonic in. I can back it into a space by myself, but it's just so much easier to have a spotter with me, because there's a lot you have to consider with a trailer this big. And in a busy campground, when you have people running around, walking in behind you, their dogs are walking behind you and stuff like that, it's nice to have that extra pair of eyes back there to say, well, hold on, somebody's walking through our campsite, or there's a low branch here, you're about to take out the air conditioner, stuff like that. So a spotter is really nice to have. The way that me and my wife do is we have a pair of walkie-talkies, and literally she just talks into the walkie-talkie and tells me which direction to go. It's really helpful because then what I can do is just focus on what the trailer's doing and put it exactly where she tells me to put the trailer. A quick thing on spotters, make sure, whether you want to do it with a phone, a walkie-talkie, however you want to work it, make sure that all of your signals are agreed upon before you guys start backing in. Don't get halfway through backing in and then say, oh, I don't know what that means. What does this mean? What does that mean? The way that we do it is she will tell me passenger side or driver side. And I like that a lot because left and right can get confusing relative to, is it your right, your left, my left, whatever it is. The passenger side of my truck is always going to be the passenger side of my truck. So that makes it really simple, cuts down on a lot of the confusion. That, I think, is about all the tips that I have as far as that. One thing, well, I will say this. One thing that I'll do with the Sonic when I do get to the campsite and I'm ready to start backing in, I will throw my hazards on, just because you can't see my reverse lights because the Sonic trailer is wider than the vehicle. So I always throw my hazards on, that way somebody doesn't know, because somebody doesn't know, am I leaving the campsite, am I driving through the campsite, am I backing in? So that's a nice little thing to do. And always back in everywhere. If you get to like say a road or something that you're going to stop at for a minute, something like that. If you look at big rig drivers, they always back in wherever they are. There's a reason for that, because when you get to where you're going to back in and stop, or pull in and stop, whatever it may be, you can see behind you a lot better when you're backing in, and the other vehicles on the road can see you when you're backing in. And when you go to pull out, you can pull up to the intersection, if you will, and you can look around to see if there's any cars coming. That you don't have that luxury when you're backing up. Take my Sonic, for example, is like 25 feet long, so that's 25 extra feet that I have to back up before I can start to see what's going on around me, which makes it a little bit dangerous. But that's all that I really have on backing in right now. If I think of any tips, or you guys want to give us any tips, go ahead and put them in the comments, and I will make sure to at least talk about them when we do the video where we actually implement all these things. I'll try and implement them as well, and we can compare and contrast, see which ones work better and which ones don't. But I do have a quick little rant for you guys before I let you go. One thing that I keep seeing on a lot of different sites, RV pages and stuff like that, I haven't seen it come up on our page yet, is this question of, I have this vehicle, can I tow this? And it's always these vague questions, and it really, really annoys me because there's never enough information there. And if you're going to ask a question like this, I see this a lot. Like, I have an F-150, I'm towing a Catalina RV. Can that, will that work? Is that good? I have no idea. I don't know what engine you have in your truck. I don't know what transmission you have. I don't know what gear ratio you have. I don't even know how much your trailer weighs. No, I don't know how much your truck can tow. Go to Google. I mean, I see people that post these things, and it drives me insane because it's like nobody knows how much your 1988 Daihatsu Rocky can tow. I'm going to tell you right now off the top of my head, it's probably not much because it only has 94 horsepower. So I understand the people that say things like, I have, say, a Toyota Highlander, and this is my current trailer, and I want to move up to a Toyota Tundra. Does anybody have any opinions on how well that works, or this or that, or is there, that's a question. I'm not saying don't ask questions. I'm just saying make sure you provide enough information to, ask a full question. Um, But that's about all that I have for you guys. If you enjoyed that rant, or you would like your rants to get better, I recommend listening to either Crime and Sports or Small Town Murder, because that's where I learned how to do my ranting. They're getting better every day. Um, but if you guys enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Give us a thumbs down if you didn't enjoy the video. Get online. Tell me that. Tell me my rants suck. Tell me I suck in the comments. It doesn't matter to me. But until next time, guys, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next one.